What about
broke me, dude? Broke me.
What about your sniper training? I don't know too much
That
about
was fun,
Army.
man. That was fun.
Talk about that in detail for me. Like, how is it like the moment you get into a sniper section or your sniper platoon? Like, do you gotta earn the right to go to like SODIC or whatever the fuck your long range course is?
I can talk a little experience on that in mind.
Yeah,
so, when I got into, the sniper section in 3rd Ranger Battalion is a little bit. Each battalion kind of ran their sniper sections a little differently. 3rd Bat, they specifically like made the guys who stood up a section basically had it where it was you had to be at least a specialist or an E4 to be in the section, and you had to have your tab, like you had been to Ranger school. And so I got in the section, but like so Jared Van Alst, who was running the section, rest in peace. He lost his life serving our country. At the top, with the special mission unit kind of stuff.
I got your beer. Let's toast to him.
Well, cheers to that. I don't have any beer.
I got sparkling water, bro. I use this Dr.
We got some left here.
I'm on my Dalai Lama shit, so I can't drink.
You got it?
Here we got it.
I drugged that one.
Did you say you drugged it?
Yeah, it's good. It's gonna be really good.
We're gonna have fun tonight.
All right.
So we're cheersing to Jared Van Alst, who, so he lost. He was the guy that was in charge of the sniper section. So he's
hold on, fuck that. I'm sorry to cut you off. We gotta do that again. You can't put him down. You gotta drink when you do the. Come on, you gotta drink and then you put it down.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Jerry.
But
now you put it down.
Story.
So we do a little cheers to Jared Van Alst there, and he was in charge of the sniper section when I arrived at 3rd Ranger Battalion, when I got over in the section. Him and Robbie Johnson.
Phenomenal.
Which those two guys together were like, it was like being taught by gods. You know what I mean? Like that was,
you guys
to
are
me.
schooling me on people that I feel like I should know.
These two guys,
Look them up, dude.
Basically both these guys, they were both in battalion, and then the benefit of having 3rd Ranger Battalion is we were right down the road from the Army Marksmanship Unit. Who, these guys, like half the dudes are. You see the guys shooting in the Olympics and stuff on the teams. Those are guys that are in that unit, And a lot of them, they come from the Marine Corps, from their marksmanship teams.
We poached from the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
No way.
So it's like you don't like the Marine Corps anymore. You can come to the Army.
Yeah.
I got a good friend.
We pop smoke.
They're not deployed.
You know how many Marsoc motherfuckers are in SF now in the Green Berets? I'm telling you, they should do like a tally. I'm interested to know this number. If somebody knows, let me know. I have a feeling there's a lot of us over there. It's just because the Marine Corps, we're traditionalists by nature. Even in SOCOM, there's some aspects where it's just you're gonna feel that, and guys like progressive soldiers, guys that are really thinking about the new way of fighting and doing things, kind of run into conflict with those traditionalists. So that's where they get it. I think in the SF community, from what I see and the guys that I know, you guys have always been progressive. You know what I'm saying? Y'all never really were too, adamant about tradition. I'm not saying about history or whatever.
Some stuff we are, but then there's a few things that are, but then we're
more get the job done.
Able to flex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, able to flex and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And so these two guys, there's a summer pickup shooter program that Army Marksmanship Unit, and they, as far as I know, they still do it. I don't know if they are, but when I was around, they were doing it. It's basically what they would do is there was guys from Ranger Battalion. They would basically say, hey, we got this summer program where if we can have a couple of your guys come down that you think are capable to come and maybe shoot with our unit, and we give them orders, and they're basically part of our unit for the summer, and they go shoot at Camp Perry at the President's 100. They go all this stuff. And you basically get the opportunity to train, like you're part of the most elite, marksmanship unit there is right there for a whole summer, and you get to compete in all these competitions and just improve your marksmanship skills.
That's
it's
crazy.
Like
crazy you guys have that opportunity.
Yeah, and so these two guys were like one of the, not the first, but they were that group of first guys that really were doing that, where they were partnering with them. And so they went and did the whole pickup shooter thing and got their, and they ended up staying, and they offered them an opportunity, and they said, hey, if you would like to stay here for a couple years and be part of the teams. So those guys stuck around with the Army Marksmanship Unit for a while. Then they decided, hey, it's time to go back to Ranger Battalion. So the way that this program worked,
that sounds
gave
like the
them
dopest
the
career
opportunity.
ever.
Right. Yeah, it gave them the opportunity to come back, and so they basically came back and stood up at the time the sniper section was run a little differently, and they stood it up the way it is kind of now. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know exactly how it is right now, but what it was when I was there. Yeah,
bringing that skill set in, like those two essentially should be like commended and awarded for essentially transitioning the. It sounds like the Ranger Sniper program.
Yeah. Oh no, it was.
And then
unreal.
obviously increasing your lethality. Yeah. You have that skill set, the early on skill set, so the basic sniper level skill set, and then you go and train with AMU all season and compete, and that's a whole nother demon. I mean, that's something. And then coming back to battalion, which not only shows a lot of devotion to them, because they could get paid for that shit if they would have quit.
So
but then it changed everything over.
Jared, when he was in charge of the section, he kind of changed it around, and it was just the mentality of like when you were the question you went back to originally that you were asking, and Jared really when I got to the section, he basically told it was kind of a good old boys club when I first went through. There wasn't like a selection when Nick went through. Yeah. It was basically like, is this dude good? I went and talked to those guys that I saw smoke that dude off the roof. And I went and talked to them, and they were like, and I spent a lot of time with them, and they were like, yeah, I think this guy's okay. Like they basically vetted
Sounds like
me.
Dev.
It's still like that.
Yeah, I went and talked to Cabral.
They vetted me a little bit, and they were like, yeah, this guy's okay. And then I went and had like there was a group of us that all were kind of coming from that wanted to come to snipers, and we all had like interviews and all this shit like that, and we got into the section.
They still keep that. Well, when I went through, it was a part of
Yeah, and it's still part of it. It's like and they're asking you like, are you mature enough to be in this section? It was stuff like, do you own a car? Like questions like that. It was simple. It was
legitimate questions.
It was legitimate.
They are though.
But there were things like that because there's guys in battalion that didn't own a car.
How to pay a bill.
Yeah,
people don't understand once they become a sniper, you're gonna have to do a lot on your own.
Yeah, it's a lot of independent stuff on your own. And I remember like when you're in the section, you don't automatically go right straight to sniper school. No. Jared basically said like they didn't even like they looked at you and they're like they didn't even want to see you shoot necessarily because Jared and Robbie, they coming from having that experience with AMU and being taught by those guys and coaching new guys, they were like, I can teach you to shoot. If we can't teach you to shoot, then we'll just remove you from the section. Basically, it's like everybody that we think that is in battalion is teachable, right? And there were some guys later on that got kicked out of the section because they really like their failure to train, to learn, right? To like learn from your mistakes. And so it was really cool. And I remember at the time, the one moment where I had earned a lot of respect for this is a good leader in my opinion, was we were at Rotary Wing, we do a 2-week Rotary Wing, and we were in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and right after that, Jared basically said, I'm going to send, there was a group of us that came into the section all new together, and there was, I think, like 4 of us, and he said, I'm going to send like you 3 guys to sniper school, and I was like the one he wasn't going to send to sniper school, and I was like, I went and like, he pulled me aside though. I was like freaking out like I did something wrong, right? Yeah. And he pulled me aside and he was like, hey, out of all the 4 of you, you're the only one that's married. We're about to deploy like in whatever it was like 2 months. He's like, in 2 months we're deploying. He's like, I want you to spend your time with your
that's a good leader is what that is.
He said, I want you to spend time with your family so you're not going straight from sniper school into a deployment. And
at the time you didn't care, but he was doing you a favor.
Yeah, and he was, and I didn't realize it. And then I thought back and I'm like,
stuff you learn later. Like I could appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm like, he gave me the time with my family because he said he was like, oh, you can spend the time with your family. I can teach you how to shoot. You're going on a deployment with a really experienced, like I went, Mike, the guy who was my team leader, was a super experienced guy. We were going to Missoula. We had actually 2 sniper teams there because there was 2 platoons there. So Lynch was there, Rock was there, another dude was there. I mean, it was a A-team.
I don't know what is it about that last name Lynch, but they in everything.
Dude,
every unit I've been at.
Yeah, and you know what? They're all crazy. Yeah, they're all crazy. Yeah.
There must be a lineage of lynches that are just psycho.
Vikings or some shit.
They're all crazy, but really, I mean,
but legit professional crazy. Like
Oh no, totally like that. Totally like that. But I mean, it was so good to see a leadership like that. But that was how it was for me when I went in, and it was a really positive experience. And you know, I mean, I ended up going going to sniper school right after that deployment, and then going to Marine High Angle. I went and did that out in Bridgeport, California. So literally,
it's a tough course.
One of the best courses I've ever done.
You climbed the mountain, the 11,015.
You know what? Your picture, dude. When I was in the section,
love that course.
right?
I love you, man.
And
it.
In
Our
our
whole
office.
section went. We drove. They let us. They
guys
never
went
made
across
this
the city,
mistake.
went across the city.
Oh hell yeah!
The bunny race.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah!
the bunny race.
No, when I was in section, I don't know if you know or not, but your picture plaques are all in a portion of the section, like 2 of them.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was above like my little computer inside one of the offices, dude. It was your picture with I think it was Atterbury or whatnot, and I think it was Sodic. When you guys went to Sodic, or you had on these ugly ass glasses, bro. Like, what was
The iPro?
Woodland camo. You guys had the 3 hundo, so you guys had So what was that?
I don't know. We might have been. You know what that's probably from?
Was it Rotary Ring?
No,
Was it
we
that?
went
Was it
to, no, we went to. We went up to the CAG compound. And
Okay.
spent like 2
Yeah,
weeks.
that
we
must
spent
have been-
2
'cause you
weeks.
guys
So it was
looked-
really
yeah.
cool. One of the guys up there who we worked with on my second Missoula deployment was a CAG guy there running operations with us, and basically said, hey. We got built a relationship, and this guy was amazing, and he invited our whole sniper section up
That's
to
the
their
cool thing
compound.
about our
He
unit,
took off
guys.
for 2 weeks and
Yep.
took 2 of his guys. I mean, this was a CAG sergeant major.
We
He
had a
took
dude,
off,
yeah.
and he literally said, "I'm taking this time off," and he set up a 2-week basically OTC course, which is the operator training course that
Dude.
they do. So for the
Italian,
people that
that
don't
is
know,
legit,
they go
dude.
through
Yeah, legit, man.
Delta selection. You have to go through an operator training course. Well,
Hence the original term of the word operator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Put that in
then-
this.
So it goes from Delta, and so they basically run this operator training course. What a lot of people don't know is the attrition rate to go through the operator training course is 50% on that alone. So not only do you not, maybe there's a whole class and only a couple
To
guys
make it,
make
yeah.
it into,
That's fucking-
the chances that
yeah.
both of those 2 guys make it through the OTC are only one of those guys will probably make it through it, and it's 6 months long.
Insane.
So he basically gave us a 2-week course where we ran through. I mean, we were doing building climbing, like all these special techniques of like doing all this crazy stuff, like being inside of windows and using like lips and.
Dude, I'm going
It
to
was-
suck you
it
off
was
tonight. I didn't know
really-
you did all this fun shit.
It was really, really amazing to be able to do and run through their like little mini city and do all these things. So we had this opportunity. It was like we're fast roping on their hotel. I mean, they have an entire city
I was
built
saying, oh, that-
with a
yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
They have everything. I mean, we had targets set up in the streets. I mean, if you walked through it and you didn't know it was just like their range that's a city, you'd be like, oh, you're in like some little small town.
Baghdad.
There's flower planters on the side. There's streets with sidewalks and everything, and you're like. You're walking along, and there's like they got a hotel built, and every room has
that
bullet
budget,
traps
baby.
inside
That's
of
that
it.
tier 1
And so
budget.
you're running around, and there's LaRue's set up in the streets, and you're running around. You come across it, you dink, dink, and they pop back up, dink, dink.
That's
you
why
run
Marsac
around.
leaves.
Dude, and it's just like, I mean, those were the experiences that I had having a sniper night, and it's like,
I think everybody wants to get to CAG at the end.
Dude, we had a CAG guy.
Yeah.
like the
my
pinnacle.
dream
Even the SEAL
was
team
already-
guys
Everyone, yeah. I think the pinnacle is CAG, bro.
Working with
That's
both
it.
SEAL teams,
Hands down.
you know, 6 and CAG. We had a CAG guy. Well, working with both units, I'd say, I don't know, bro. CAG is fucking legit. Working with
Dog, it's CAG.
right? But then we had one of their guys come over for like 2 weeks, man. He just came over to hang out, you know, came over to Afghanistan to hang out on our deployment, bro. And we were getting it in, dude. Like, and just flew back like, all right, gotta go. Just came vacation.
Just by himself?
By himself, bro.
What?
Came embedded with
believe it,
our
bro.
And just embedded with your squad or platoon?
because, bro, we were like 2009 or whatever that.
Who's
deployment-
gonna tell the motherfuckers no?
Exactly.
Why
dude.
would you?
Dude, you
He-
can't-
On,
I mean-
on either end.
They
Hey,
he looked
I'll-
like us. He looked like us, man.
They'll
but
make a colonel group.
I remember working with those guys, dude, in
like, oh,
Iraq,
shit,
right?
CAG.
Working with the CAG in Iraq, and they were coming over,
You know you're single, though.
and their like equipment and their setup, bro. Like our whole the way we wore our uniforms changed up because like those guys were coming over schooling us on like. You know what guys are seeing now, like
I remember you guys in
Dude,
the
they were-
ACUs and the Ranger Green, like
Dude, yeah,
everything else.
I
in
got
a
in
tan
trouble for
helmet. I'm like,
taking pictures in Cry Precision. Like that shit wasn't even out at the
No,
time.
it's everywhere.
Yeah, I got in trouble for taking a picture in that before it was even out. But yeah, the CAG guys would come over and they like tailored made kits and
They have a seamstress.
perfect, bro. Yeah,
I
it's,
think. No,
I don't know. That's
I
the
wouldn't
rumor.
fucking know,
But it's like,
I've read
dude,
it a
they
few
got
times.
legit kit,
Two
and
times. I read it.
maybe 3. But no,
Call
those
the office,
guys did
motherfucker.
come over and smooth, man. Like they contributed a
So
lot
I
to
gotta
the
share this one little
lot.
story about being at that compound. So I gotta where he's basically, so what we'd been doing a lot of, we'd been assisting with it, but they'd been doing a lot of vehicle interdictions. And so for people that don't know, it's basically, they're doing vehicle to vehicle interdiction. So basically there's a group of guys, they're getting dressed up, all hodged out. They're going on the little Kia Scooby van, and they've got like, this van is all decked out. It's got like hidden pin cameras.
Can you say all this in here?
Oh,
bro? Can you say all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so like they go out in their
I was
little
wondering
vans,
that.
Yeah.
and they'd
good
cruise
editor.
around.
I was just like,
They'd cruise around. Basically, they'd have a guy that they would target. They know what route he was taking, what vehicle he was taking, and they'd basically interdict him at a certain point. And it was almost like a modern day drive-by, like legalized American
Dragging motherfuckers out of cars.
Yeah, drag out of cars, get them, stop them, do a little drive-by, maybe have to smoke them. Most of the guys were in
It's like the
suicide
Sicario
vests.
scene.
Yeah, and so like I got this guy. So we go to the compound, we're training, and he's like, I'm gonna teach you guys how to legitimately do a VI. Even, you might not get to that level, but if you get to our level, like you at least will
dude,
know.
it was a time in Iraq when
There was a time I was doing everything.
Bro, exactly.
Everything.
Yeah.
So literally,
they
have a stable.
I was using demo. I was everything.
working with CAG, you get a chance to do a lot of cool
They've got a stable of cars that they just like buy from police auctions and stuff that they use for driving around and like practicing and shooting and putting dummies in and doing like sniper shots through windshields and like how does it affect
Which is
it.
kind
So
of tricky,
it's
dude.
really cool.
Which is tricky,
so
man.
they just pick a random car and I'm like, this is like actually not a bad car. And I'm sitting like
I would buy this car.
yeah, I'm sitting in the passenger seat and I got this dude driving. And he's like, all right, we got these targets coming up. And he's like, I want you to just
And
pick
dude,
out
let me
all
tell you,
these
like
targets.
CAG guys are fucking like uber mad cool, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he's just like, all right, I want you to shoot these targets that come around. I'm gonna be driving. I'm gonna do some drifting and stuff. So you're gonna have to be quick on the wheel. And I'm like, okay, all right. So
Feet
I'm
on the
like,
post.
I'm hanging out the window. Bah, bah, bah. You know, and there's these LaRue targets, and yeah, I'm hitting like every once. You know, I'm getting some of them. But I mean, when you're driving like, 45, 50 miles an hour, and he's spinning and turning and driving all around, and there's targets set up, and you're trying to hit them.
You're fighting G's to
and
come
it's
out
almost,
there.
I've learned like it depends on your environment. Obviously, if you're on a pavement,
and learning
you're
your
not gonna be able to do
time,
it.
your leads too,
But if
bro.
you're,
Like
but if
behind
you're
leads
on
and shit.
dirt like that, you can watch yourself. You can start low and work yourself in on a target, right? Because I'm just shooting it at this point out the window, right? Because
I thought you were,
And in
bro,
a
for a
car
minute,
that's
I was
drifting.
like, wait a minute. You're going SR25. I'm thinking like, damn, bro.
No.
No
I'm
way.
just
Okay,
using.
yeah.
I'm basically just.
I ain't
rocking.
hitting fuck all at that point.
So you're using, splash.
put that shit-
But
Yeah,
the best thing is like I'm going good coming along. All of a sudden, good, boom! Shoot the side mirror straight off the car. Because I'm looking down the side. You go, just shoot the side mirror straight off, and I'm like, huh. He just looks at me. Don't worry about that, and just keep driving. like you just thinking, dude, if I was a battalion or something, I'd probably be getting my ass smoked over there. I'd be like. I'd get fired, I'd get in trouble or something.
If you miss around, or you're just like,
and then like I just smoked it right into the side
yep.
mirror in the vehicle, like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We do that all the time. Like, oh, okay.